I wanted to actually quickly go back even a bit further because I know that you actually worked with CCI way back in the day,
Yeah.
and then you've worked with us recently, and now you're working with us again a third time. So what I wanted you to do actually is first and foremost, just tell people a little bit of the work that you do.
Right.
Let's start there, what your business is, and let's start there, and then we'll go along the journey of how we got here.
Well, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. I am Kimi from the Philippines, and I take very huge pride on telling people that I am the pioneer life coach in the Philippines, and I have been doing this work for 15 years now.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
crazy. I don't know how I got here, but here we are. And
That's
during the
amazing.
so my business was usually in person, and I would help out personal clients one-on-one, and then I would have corporate
Right.
clients before the pandemic, right? And I have started online coaching in 2017, but it's like one person here and there, not consistent at all, and not
Right.
even promoting it. It was just
Yeah.
a friend from another country knows me, and they'll really beg, Kimi, can you please do it online? So that was happening already. And then 2020 was
Yes.
crazy. And I can do my marketing and sales in my sleep
Yeah.
because I was so good at networking in person.
Yes.
And I said, oh my gosh, everything is online now. I do not know how to navigate this.
For sure.
I need help. I really need help.
And that was the first, and then that's when we got connected, right?
And you sent me a message on Instagram. And
Right.
I don't like these, I don't know, these random messages. And I'm like, but you mentioned heart-centered.
Right.
And I am heart-centered, and I serve heart-centered entrepreneurs. So I'm like, there's a connection somehow. Let me give this a try, right?
And I'm actually curious because I know, obviously, the first time that you joined CCI, every time someone joins a new program for the first time, it's always the scariest because you don't know as much as the second and third time you join a program, you knew more about the program.
Correct.
So what was going through your mind when you were deciding to make that decision that first time? Was like there a little bit of fear? Was there a little bit of hesitation?
Yes.
Or what allowed you to like get over that fear and invest in yourself?
I was really thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. And people are losing money during that time. But I really thought to myself, no, with this investment, I'm going to 10x this investment. Like my mindset was in that zone, but I was scared. That's for sure.
Sure.
And I was a brat with my CCI coach. Why don't you just tell me what to do? Why do I need to go through all of these things, doing the tracking, finding out my niche? I was being a brat because I paid money.
Oh, for sure. And you wanted to get the best out of the experience, right?
Yeah.
So what do you feel like? Tell people a little bit, because I know the first time through the program, you did actually see some pretty good results overall.
I did.
What kind of business growth did you see working with CCI that first time?
I will start by saying because of that, I had my first biggest year ever, income-wise. And then also I had a lot of time on my hands because I was able to scale at that time, was able to, I guess, delegate the work as well. So lots of time and lots of money. This is the best.
I love this. Now, what would you say, because I know the people watching, and by the way, folks, if you're watching the live right now, or even the replay, comment down below your questions for Kimi or myself that we can help answer them. What would you say the first time in CCI were some of the strategies that you feel like worked the best for you at that point?
I guess the most popular would be the value pieces. I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know how to deliver or translate it online, the funnels and everything. The value piece was really a good one. Of course, the tracking as well, tracking. And I'm still bad at it, but whenever I do it, and whenever I do my part of the job, then the job gets done.
100%. It's okay. I always tell people with tracking, it's kind of similar to content, right? You can always get better. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to just work on it and get better at it. And the only way to get better at it is to work on it.
Right.
So The first time in CCI, great. You had your biggest year yet. You were learning about value pieces. You're learning about tracking. Now, I know then there was a couple years where we took a bit of a break, and then you decided to kind of come back to CCI. And what were the main things that you really wanted to work on the second time around coming to work with CCI?
Right. So as I said, the first time I was able to delegate.
Yeah.
And the people who I delegated with they like dispersed because life was back. They started doing their own thing now and going back to their own lives. So I quote unquote lost those people, right? So I'm back to being alone, working by myself. So I needed to recalibrate and find a way to get that the income back, and even more also the time back, right? So that's where I was. And I remember we were talking in May last year.
Yes.
And at that time, I knew already that my sales was gonna dip. And it really did.
Yeah.
And it was negative in June. So I said, I need to work on something now so that I can recover immediately from it. So that's where I was. My income was negative.
That's crazy. And that's where obviously things needed to shift. So you joined CCI, and tell people about I know you worked with Cassie, obviously. You're still working with Cassie. What are the main pieces that you worked on through July, August, September?
Right.
And what are some of the results that you were able to see with all of that?
So we really nailed the problem, the pain point of the people that I was serving. And how did we do that? I had to do a lot of research, meaning really asking, really doing the poll questions, really messaging my clients one by one. How am I serving? How did I serve you? Why are you still here? Really asking them, what am I to you? How am I able to serve you? And then they gave me some notes, and then from there extracted some words, placed it in a poll, just kept on asking. I think I asked for 1 whole month.
That's awesome.
Really, really asking, and what really is it? Yeah. And then we came up with entrepreneurs who were overwhelmed. And then Cassie asked, and then how do you help them? And I also didn't know how to answer. I just listen. I'm supportive. I'm a cheerleader. And she just kept it, no, how do you help them, right? What are the steps? How do you actually help them? And then I had to really reflect as well. What are the steps really? How do I take them from A to B? Yeah. I realized, I do have a process. Right. It's just not written down or I had to do that. And I created a program around it, like a solid one, and I called it Slay. Yeah. Apparently I help people to show up. So I love that. Yeah, really, they call me the mother pusher, because I push them to July, go on live. I love it. Up really. And then apparently I'm also very good at teaching people how to love themselves, date themselves a lot, care for themselves a lot. I love that. So it was basically first getting clear actually on how to basically get the research so that you're helping people, then 2, coming up with the offer that's going to be best and perfect for them. And then after that, is that when you went for the launch? So I did the value pieces. I had several. The one that really spoke to them a lot was I gave them a cheat sheet on how to align your thoughts with your goals. So that was really off. Yeah. And then I tracked it. I like it. I tracked. And one specifically I tracked because I looked at my spreadsheets. And because of that, I got into one-on-one calls. Yeah. And in my one-on-one calls, 80% I got to close. 80% close rate off of the value piece. And I'm just a good testament to you did the right research, you crafted the right offer, you crafted the right value pieces that then led to these leads that I'm sure they felt really warmed up to you. It probably was quite easy to sell to them. Yeah. I really loved it. And I was telling people, oh my gosh, there are people who were lurkers that became clients now because of this. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that means it's effective. Finally, it was so clear that it spoke to them clearly that it made them say yes to it. Yeah, so, 100%. That was good. That's amazing. So you're able to close a lot of one-on-one clients.
And then tell people about the launch. I think was it in October or November that you had a launch?
So I had two
launches.
So July and October. Well, July, and then again, like 80% rejoined the October one. So it was an easy launch, right? Because I was able to retain them. So like we're like, I guess, new and older clients coming through. Yeah, the July launch, a lot of value pieces, maybe 5. And then there was also another one that really hit the spot, which was, since it was July, did a mid-year questionnaire thing, check-in. And then because a lot of people got it, I think 100 plus people, I said, okay, a lot of people are really loving this one. Why don't I create an online journaling session of us just going through it and all? And because of that, I closed like several other people to come through.
I love that. I think, and for those that are watching, again, if you have questions, put them down below. But this is such the testament of having the right offers to the right audience, right? Because it's that product market fit. And if you don't have the right offer for the right audience, or if one of them isn't aligned, things don't work out. But if you do have that product market fit, it speaks to your audience, you're able to generate the leads and get them as clients. So tell people a little bit about I think it was the October launch, because that was like big launch for you. You hit some big numbers. I believe maybe some of the biggest month you've ever had. Maybe?
Yeah, that is the second big launch. So the Slay one really worked. So that was a 6-week program, and I did it 2 times, and each time I had 50 clients and 15 clients. And I said, you know what? Let's push this. I want 30 clients this time. And we called it manifestation, like combination of manifesting and slaying, all of these things. It's an 11-week run. So it's really like double in everything. And that's exactly what happened. I doubled everything. So doubled the launch.
Amazing.
Right? I had a very huge event. It was called it Manifestival. There were a lot of people who came through that event into the program as well. I had one-on-one calls with them. So I got to close that. A lot of value pieces. I repeated my value pieces, which is fun, right?
You can reuse them. That's the beauty of it.
Reuse them, tweaked a little. And then, I just really doubled down on that one.
I love that.
And just didn't stop.
I love that. And I saw the videos of your event. It looked amazing. And it looked like you had a blast. And obviously, worked really well. Last couple minutes here. I know you just signed up for your 3rd time to work with CCI, because obviously that's support. And now that Cassie even knows your business even better, she's able to give even more specific advice. What are you and Cassie working on over the next couple months? What's the next kind of journey for you?
So the next stage would be, because I had this big launch and literally I'm booked out till March. So, okay, what are we going to do now? And I'm really concerned about the second quarter already. So now in January, we're already thinking of what are we going to offer in April and in May, June. And I also told her, like, it's my birth month. It's a huge year for me. I'm turning 40. So I want to take a break, but can we work around that? Like, can I earn while I'm actually on break? So this is our challenge
100%.
for this year. So this is what we're working on.
I love that. I got 2 more questions for you, and then I'm going to let you sleep. And again, folks, if you got questions, comment them down below. But also hit me some hearts down below just for Kimi and how amazing she is and how her business has been growing. So last 2 questions is, number 1, obviously, you've been paired with Cassie, our CCI specialist, these last couple of months. What would you say have been the most helpful things about having a one-on-one mentor, like right there, kind of helping you?
Right. Well, I'm also so grateful for Cassie, because we get to chat even in between the sessions, like Slack. So that's super helpful. And whenever I have a question about, to the niche or the messaging, I think she's really good at that. So that has been so helpful. And I can't wait to doing that with her.
Sure. I love that. And last question for you today, for those of the entrepreneurs who are watching here today, who are maybe in the beginning stages of growing their business and want to get up to months like you, what would be maybe your number 1 piece of advice for them on how to go from maybe making a couple thousand months to those bigger launches, those bigger months? What's your number 1 piece of advice?
trying, doing, or else told me like, how do you like launching and keep creating? And I'm like, you know why? Because I want to find out if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to experiment, right? You have to put it out there.
Yeah, put it out there. I think that would be the line.
I love that. I love that. You heard it here, folks, from Kimi. You have to put it out there. If you just always think about things, but you never do things, you'll never know if it's going to work or not. So, Kimi, thank you so much for jumping on. I know that this is going to the people who are watching right now, but also the people who watch the replay. Thanks for staying up a little bit later tonight for that. Everyone, comment down below and thank Kimi. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to both of us. Kimi, I'm excited for the next couple months, and I can't wait to see where your business goes in 2025. It's a big year for you. Let's have your biggest year yet. How does that sound?
I receive it right now.
Amazing. There you go. You got the fireworks. Amazing. So, okay, I'm going to let you go, Kimi. Have a fabulous rest of your day, and we'll be chatting soon. And thank you, folks, for jumping on, and we'll see you folks actually next week. We're also doing another interview with another one of our clients who also got to $20,000 months. So if you want to come to that, send me a message as well. And bye for now, folks. Have a great rest of your day. Chat soon.